There is this moment, I will never forget that. I remember it was the start of the week in Amsterdam, and I was standing with my camera in my apartment after a trip to Paris, photography trip to Paris. I had roamed around Paris street corners and taken like street photography as well as like some travel photographs. When I was back in my apartment on that Monday, I was looking at my laptop for my IT job. I was looking at my login screen, but somehow I didn't want to log in. For a long time, writing code was something which excited me, and managing software was a big part of my career. But in that moment, what was really going on in my mind is like, is this all there is? Like, I have been doing this for 16 years. How much longer do I do? And what else is there, right? Is this all there is? Like, to create code, create software, manage teams, make some company that you work for richer? Is there more to life than that? And I think there was a pit in the stomach, right? Like, if you have felt that ever, there was a pit in the stomach. Like, I don't know, today I know that so many successful, talented people feel the same way. Like, is there all there is to life? Like, you work hard every day, you do the right things, you are well regarded, you succeed by external standards, but real fulfillment, like the kind of fulfillment which I got from code, I got from software one time, was no longer there. I can't ignore it, right? I can ignore it, but then I had to pay the cost. And there was an impact to ignoring it. But also, the life that I was dreaming about always felt out of reach. Have you also ever felt like the life that you want, that is aligned with your values, with your creativity, and the impact that you want to make just feels out of reach? And if you feel that way, it is not because you are broken, as I realized it myself. It is not because you are not good enough, as I realized it myself. It is because you are being held hostage by some invisible lies. Some lies like which we don't see as lies and which we don't even see. Like, that's why they are invisible. These are beliefs which masquerade as truths, but they are actually lies. They don't shout, they are not out in the front, they whisper in the back of your mind. And they live in your mind like facts, while in fact they are fiction. So today I want to expose those lines, because that is where freedom begins, and that is where everything changed for me. The lie number one is, what I want is too far away. Like, back when I first considered leaving the IT career for photography or for entrepreneurship, I told myself it is not possible right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but not right now. Like, I had no backup plan, and it does not seem logical. In fact, it was logical to wait. It was logical to wait until later, when I had more savings, when I had like more people, more network, or like when the timing is perfect. I was waiting for the right time. But here's the thing, later, like if you use that word later, later is where dreams go to die. Like, later never happens. Later is not on the calendar. Someday is not on the calendar. And I realized that I was living in the notion that someday is coming, that I'll do that someday. And especially for my photography, it changed in one Sunday, right? One Sunday, I just built a photography website of myself. It was not fancy, it was not perfect, but I built a photography website. I put up some of my photos up for sale. And a few weeks later, a stranger bought one of my prints for 600 euros. And that changed everything. Like, that shifted something inside me. Like, I have been waiting for the last maybe 3-4 years to do something like that. And how much longer do I wanted to wait? And it's not about the money, but it was because like I acted like I was a photographer. So I just created a website and put my photo out there, and I was not waiting for it to be like this quality or as good as that photographer or that photographer. So my question to you is, what is your dream that has been on hold? So what dream are you deferring till someday? Like, do you have 8 days on your calendar, like Monday to Sunday and then a someday? And today I want to challenge you, take one action, tiny action. It might take 5 minutes, it might take 1 minute, or it might take 20 minutes. Take one action towards that dream. And you will see why this lie is actually a lie. The lie number two is, I am not ready yet. And this one is sneaky, especially if you're a high performer. Because I told myself I would launch my school of leadership, which I do today, when I have studied everything. I thought I would coach executives when I had more credentials. So I was waiting for certifications. I was waiting to complete the books that I had. You can probably see right behind me, there are at least 300, 500 books that I have, most of them about leadership. But for a long time, I have deferred what I wanted to do because I've not gone through the courses. I've not gone through the books. I've not gone through the credentials. And it sounded responsible. It sounded mature. But in reality, it was fear. It was fear dressed as preparation. It was fear which was causing me to procrastinate and just to defer my dream to someday. But eventually, I launched my coaching business. If you were to ask me to judge my readiness, I would probably say 30%, 20% I was ready. I was not even aware what I was stepping into. There was no proper website. There was no proper plan. There was no network. But within a year of doing that, I had learned more than the previous 5 years have taught me from reading books about entrepreneurship, about coaching, about starting your business, like the clientele that I was going after, the founders and the CEOs that I wanted to serve. I learned more about them in 1 year, talking to so many people, and most of them getting rejected in that first year. But I learned so much than I could learn from like 5 years of books before that. The big lesson that I learned here is that you don't feel ready and then act. You act and then you feel ready. Its readiness is not about timing. Readiness is always about courage, right? While most people have been waiting to act, that time never comes. It always defers to tomorrow or later. The truth is that you act, and that creates readiness. If you're waiting to be ready, you're only going to be waiting. So my challenge to you is, what is it that you have been waiting to be ready for? The challenge is started now, started today. Take a small step towards that direction. You will never be ready. There will always be something else. And you can be ready the moment you say, I am ready. Line number 3, which I have seen hold people back, is I'm not good enough, or I will be exposed for not being good enough, not being smart enough if I start taking action right now. And I remember the first time I landed like a major company in the CEO and the entire team as a client, I couldn't sleep the night before the conversation where that person said yes to me. It was all going through my mind that they will see through you. You don't belong here. That I'm just a software guy. I don't belong in like coaching CEOs. Even with a few testimonials that I had, even with the referrals that I received. So that first client was a referral. I was still sure that I am a fake, that I am a fraud. But here is the truth. Imposter syndrome, like that's the other word that we use for this, doesn't care about your results. It only cares about your doubts. You have results, but you also have doubts, like all human beings. But imposter syndrome only catches up on the doubts. It just ignores the results and the credentials that you might have. So I showed up nervous. I was very nervous on that day, but I showed up. Not only did they like the experience, the coaching experience, we expanded, right? We started with 2 people in their team. Then we went on to 8 people. And then eventually I coached 25 people across their entire leadership team. And this was the project I was most afraid of. This was the project that I thought I was not good enough for. And it became the foundation of where I am today. Like without that client, without the work that I did with them, I wouldn't be here where I am today. So write down where you feel like an imposter, where you think that you're not good enough. Like that might just be a lie. That might just be something invisible to you, where you feel like you don't belong, where you're not good enough. And then look back in your life and list down 3 facts that prove otherwise, that prove you wrong, that prove that lie to be a lie. Put them out there, right? What happens with imposter syndrome, it ignores the proof. So I want you to take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, how much longer it takes. There are facts which prove that lie to be a fake, that lie to be a lie and not a truth. So expose imposter syndrome if you're feeling that right now. That's my challenge to you. Line number 4, and this one for me is still present and it takes time to unwind this one, is that I need external approval to be okay. That I need external approval to be confident, to be validated. And especially for me, I grew up in a culture where making your family proud, making your, like even not just your parents, but also your extended family proud was everything. And becoming an engineer, which I did, was not a choice. It was almost an expectation. And when I pivoted into coaching and entrepreneurship, I kept looking over my shoulder. Like, what would my colleagues think? What would like my relatives, my family members think? Would people even take me seriously? What would my friends say about me? And even when I had success, and it still creeps in every now and then, I checked metrics. I checked my following on social media. I checked the reactions people were giving to my posts on social media. What I was doing is I was chasing validation. I was chasing validation like it was oxygen. But what it left me with, it left me like I was grasping for breath. Like I was always not okay with myself. And I needed external validation. It's almost like sugar. It feels good when you get it, but then crashes. My lesson here when I exposed this lie was that real power does not come from validation. It comes from alignment. When you are aligned with doing the work that lights you up and that serves others, that is aligned with your values. And I realized that is what makes people trust you. Not your resume, not your status, not your credentials. When they talk to you, when they can see that you live what you say. So my challenge to you here in exposing this lie is go 1 full week making decisions without seeking approval first, and pay attention to how it feels. So whatever that you have been waiting for because of external validation, go and take that decision. Go and make that ask. That is your power move. That's my challenge for you. Line number 5 is, this is who I am. I used to say that I know who I am. I am a techie person. I am not a creative person. I don't exist outside the IT world. I'm not good with people. I can't sell. I am an introvert. I am shy. These are all of the things that I knew, like I quote unquote knew about me. And for a while, I thought I was very self-aware that I knew I was this and I was not that. Like I was shy. I was an introvert. I was not good at public speaking. I knew this. And I thought this was self-awareness, but it was not. It was just limitation. It was a lie which I was telling myself, which was disguised as my identity and stopping me from actually what I really wanted. And I realized that who you are is not fixed. Like whatever you think about yourself is not fixed. You simply are what you repeatedly do. So if you want to do something else, if you want to become something else, that's open to you. Like any human being can be what any other human being can be on the planet. It took me a long time to realize that. And when I first starting like being an entrepreneur, started my school of leadership, it was messy. It was awkward. I hated every part of it. Almost cringeworthy. I was really suffering, but it was not suffering because something was wrong on the outside, because I was saying this lie that I don't belong here. That I know who I am. This is not who I am. But I kept showing up one conversation at a time. And I got better. And now I love it. It's one of the most fulfilling parts of what I do. I built a career earlier in software and computers because I don't want to talk to people. And today what I do is talk to people all day. So what's one label that you have put on yourself that is holding you back? For me, that was I am a software guy. I'm not a people guy. And then flip it and act as if the opposite were true. See, if you say I'm not a people guy and you start talking to people, it will be painful. But if you say I am a people guy, I can be whatever I am and start showing up every day in your life, you will very soon become a people guy and the journey will be enjoyable like it was for me. And again, for you, it might be something else. Who do you think you are and who do you think you are not? What if that is not the case? What if that is just a lie? So breaking free from these invisible lies is what builds self-awareness, not believing those lies. I'm not ready, I'm not this, I'm that. That's not self-awareness. Self-awareness is when you break free from these lies. And that is the starting point of all leadership. So these 5 lies: number 1, that your dreams are too far away. Number 2, that you're not ready. Number 3, that you're not good enough. Number 4, that you need external approval to do what you want to do, to say what you want to say, to ask for what you want to say. And number 5, that you can't change who you are. These are all like invisible walls which surround you, which surround your potential. And the moment you start questioning them, everything shifts. It's like the wall starts to crumble when you start to look at the horizon beyond them. You don't even have to break these walls. You can just see them for what they are, like they are fake walls. And you don't have to overcome or see them all. You can just start with one lie at a time, which is the one which is holding you back. And that's when the old narratives start to dissolve. That's now how your new power emerges. Today, I run a coaching company. Like I help CEOs lead more powerfully than ever. I help them grow to 100 million plus in impossible timeframes. And I have a team of coaches across continents, across countries. Anytime in my history, like even 3 months, 5 months ago, like that would sound like a lie to me. Like I would say that's not possible. That's not who I am. And I still hear those lies. Like I'm not good enough. This is too far away. I can't do this. Like this morning before I recorded this video, I was just struggling for 2 hours because the whole thing was going on in my mind. I was just not feeling good enough to have a conversation today. And then I said, like, let me record this video. This is the best time to record this video because I don't believe these lies anymore. Like I can see them for the lies. I might still be struggling, but I know those are lies. So if this message landed for you, or if one of these lies felt a little too familiar, then I want to offer you 2 things. One is I wrote a short ebook called The 5 Invisible Lies, which goes into much more detail than I have shared in this video and give you actionable insights to build awareness about them. So if you want that ebook, you can grab it using the link below or send me a DM, find me on social media. Or if you would rather talk to me directly or somebody from my team directly about how these lies could be holding you, your team, your business, and you see there is a huge upside if you can overcome these lies together, especially when it happens together with your team, then reach out to me. There's a contact page you will see in the description. Reach out to me. Again, there's no pressure, just a warm invitation, because this is something which I do every day for myself. I have done it for myself in the last 6 years, and I help my clients do the same. So it's a warm invitation to you that I'm here for you. I know what it feels like when you're trapped in a lie. This is an invitation to you to explore what is possible. Reach out and we'll see if we can be of help or not. The whole thing is, right, this is not about me. This is about not just about you also, right? Your dreams, my dreams are not out of reach. This is about that fulfillment that you can get when you act, when you fulfill your dreams. And they are on the other side of these invisible lies, these invisible walls that stands all around you. So there is no point waiting for readiness. The right time is always now, never later. Thank you for listening.